Hi everybody, welcome to another youth study. I'm living life dangerously today because I'm sitting in our slightly rocking chair that lots of people usually fall asleep in. So hopefully I will get through this without closing my eyes. But today's study is called Friend of Sinners, and we're looking at Luke chapter 5, verses 30 to 32. It is one of my absolutely favourite icebreaker questions ever, and I'm going to ask it to you today. If you could invite any four people for dinner, who would you invite and why would you invite them? Now, I'll be honest, my answer to that question probably changes every single day depending on what I've seen, what I've heard, what I've been thinking about. But today, here are the four people I think I would go for. Number one, I think I'd have John Foreman. He's the lead singer of Switchfoot, and they're probably my all-time favourite band. I've also been watching lots of his live performances during lockdown. I was tempted to say Shane and Shane for my first guests, but then I thought, well, that would probably be two seats, and I reckon Hannah Shaw would want to have them to her dinner anyway. So number one, John Foreman. Number two, I think I'd go for Dan Walker from the BBC. He can bring the sports chat, and he also just seems to be a genuinely nice guy. I'd love to hear more of those stories about some of the incredible people he's met as a TV presenter as well. Number three, I'd probably go for John Krasinski. I really loved the US Office when I watched that, especially his character Jim. However, I've also really enjoyed watching Some Good News during lockdown, which he hosts. And I reckon he brings some great humour and some really good stories to the conversation as well. And at number four, you probably don't know this person, but I would go for a guy called Tim Mackie. He's one of the creators of the Bible Project and a superb Bible teacher whose podcasts I really enjoy. He also lives in America, in Oregon, which is known for its coffee scene, so we'd probably enjoy some really nice coffee as well. Right now, those would be my four choices: John Foreman, Dan Walker, John Krasinski, and Tim Mackie. I wonder who you would choose. I'm sure you'd probably struggle just to name four, and no doubt, like me, your answer would probably change constantly. But who would make your list today if I was to ask you that question? You see, meals, they're a big part of life, and they were a big part of Jesus' life as well. The thing is, he usually chose some interesting dinner guests himself. Here's what we read in Luke 5, verses 30 to 32. Why do you eat and drink with tax collectors and sinners? Jesus answered them, it's not the healthy who need a doctor, but those who are ill. I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance. Jesus spent a lot of time with people that no self-respecting religious person would associate with. In fact, he was often accused of being a friend of sinners. And the thing is, if we're seeking to be like Jesus, well, then that should be something people are accusing us of at times as well. Jesus wants to save sinners. He wants to save sinners from themselves. He wants to save sinners from life-destroying sin. He wants to save sinners from a hopeless eternity. Now, you might be uncomfortable labeling people as sinners, and it's probably unwise to go around addressing people as Sinner Bob or Sinner Jane. However, we do need to acknowledge the seriousness of sin. Otherwise, the good news of Jesus doesn't make much sense. If people don't realize there's a problem, then they're not going to be interested in the solution. We need to spend time with sinners. That doesn't mean we have to approve of their sin, but we do need to love them like Jesus loved them, and we need to help them encounter Jesus for themselves.